Yeah, first of all, not exactly the start we wanted, giving up a 2-0, but kind of hoping Dryden was going to be able to pull the bacon out of the fire, and it didn't happen. They got off to a good start. We had talked about that being a very important piece for us, and I thought we played a good first period, even though we were down. And I was really, the guys did a really good job of just sticking with it. There wasn't a lot of panic on the bench or in the locker room, and they just, as they have this entire season, they stuck with it and they were rewarded for it. So it was a good effort for us, and we're excited to have an opportunity to play for a national championship.
Take your questions for the players, please. Jess.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Dryden, when was the last time you faced a 2-0, and does your D say any kind of apology to you after after things go terribly wrong there?
I couldn't tell you the last time I probably faced a 2-0 in a game. Wish I could have come up with it. I think we do enough of them in practice, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, puck took a bounce. You know, all that was really going through my head was, you know, that would have been a huge save if I would have made it a momentum builder, but didn't really seem to matter for the guys, and you know, we stuck with it, and eventually we were rewarded.
Okay, right here in the back.
Nathan Strauss, Extra Points. For any of the players, you know, it seemed like half the town of Mankato was out in the stands tonight. You know, 1,000 miles from home. What did it mean for you guys to have that many people in the stands cheering you on?
Reggie.
Yeah, that was awesome. Mankato is really not obviously as big as a city as Minneapolis, so it's great to see the kind of turnout that we had for us, and it means a lot. Even when we first got here, walking on the red carpet, it kind of gave us chills seeing all of our fans and family there, and it was really something special. So I know we built a lot of energy off of that.
Benton, what was it like out there tonight?
Yeah, I mean, like Reggie said, even from coming in on the red carpet, you could see there was a lot of energy there, and a lot of it was from Mankato fans, which was really cool. It was nice to kind of have them there in the corner. Just, you know, obviously they're loud and stuff, and having the band there, it was a really exciting atmosphere for us for sure.
Coach Hastings, you high-fiving anybody on that red carpet?
You know what? I found my wife. Yes, I did. So it was. You know what? This has been impressive, just really from start to where we're at right now. I want to thank Boston. I want to thank the hosts. It just being back. You know, when I heard the crowd being announced at 17,000 plus. All these young men having an opportunity to play in that type of environment is something pretty special, and it's nice to be a part of this as post-COVID and have them have an opportunity that they have.
Okay, right here in front.
Jason Scales with Inside Hockey. I believe that was the first time you guys have trailed in a while. I know it's the first time in the tournament that you've been behind. What was that like, being behind?
Who's that for?
Players, any of them.
Dryden, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time we were behind was probably Bemidji in the conference championship. So, but it's not like it's unfamiliar to us. There are plenty of games this year where the other team scored first, and we still had to find a way. So, you know, we're a mature group, and it doesn't really seem to matter to us whether we're up or down. We kind of keep fighting and keep playing our game, and eventually we get rewarded.
Okay, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan Kennedy from the Hockey News. Question for Reggie. You know, this team, you really play like a team, and I'm just curious how long it took to get that buy-in and to get to that level where you can have a performance like tonight on such an important stage.
I think it's right when you step foot on campus. Ever since Coach has been here in Mankato, he's built a great culture of family, team first. Anything that gets thrown our way, you're going to put the team first. We don't have one selfish guy on our team, so that's just kind of our MO. Who's ever playing great that night is going to get some more playing time maybe than the other guy, and the other guy that's not playing as much is still going to be cheering us on and staying positive. That's just kind of what our culture is, we before me. So I think tonight we didn't have the start we wanted. Everybody just kind of bought in. We looked at each other, and we didn't want their season to end tonight, so we knew it had to be done.
Okay, Rap.
Tim Rapley from Flow Hockey. This is for Reg. The wraparound goal. I understand the Elk River, that's a big deal. You can earn a breakfast for a wraparound goal. How long have you been practicing that, and have there been any happy meals in your life for a wraparound goal?
I feel like you've talked to my dad about that, actually. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because when I was younger, every time I would score a wraparound goal, my dad would take me to McDonald's and I'd get a Happy Meal. So I've been working on that one for a while, and it was pretty cool to see it work on the big stage. And I mean, like I said, ever since I was probably 5, I've been practicing wraparound goals, and it was able to pay off tonight, so it was pretty cool.
Wraparound goals at McDonald's. Who knew, huh?
Yeah, all right.
Like it. Mr. Long.
Yeah, pretty good night for Elk River. Chris Long from KSTP in the Twin Cities. Benton, I'll ask you to just speak on behalf of the defense. Except for the one hiccup, you guys threw a blanket over a incredibly talented team. We could see the frustration. What was the thrust of what you guys are trying to do to keep them from having any chances?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at our defense, it's not just the 6 guys that are, labeled as it on the score sheet. It's a team defense. I thought our forwards did a really, really good job of coming back on the back check tonight and picking up late guys, and that allowed us, stay up on our gaps and force a lot of dump-ins rather than rushes, which, is something we kind of pride ourselves in, trying to end the rush at the blue line. And, I think we did a good job with that tonight. But like I said, it was definitely a team effort on defense, starting with Dryden in net and working our way out.
Mr. Powers.
This is a question for Dryden, for John Powers, Boston Globe. As satisfying as it is to get to a championship game, how much is it also to beat the Gophers to get there? Because if you look at over all the decades, they're the first team people, especially outside Minnesota, think of.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, they're the first team people think of, and they always will be. But I think it's just kind of a cherry on top to beat them. But it didn't really matter who we were playing tonight. We played the way that we wanted to play, and we're confident that anytime we do that, doesn't matter who's on the other side, we're going to come out on top.
Okay. Ed, and then Josh Vina, and then we'll come back to you guys.
Following up on...
Could you identify yourself?
Oh, sorry. Ed Trefsker, USCHO. Following up on limiting offensive chances for the Gophers, how did your neutral zone play and defense build your offense for the players, especially Benton and Reggie?
I mean, I think you could see the ice was a little bit chippy out there. So going into the game, we just kind of had a mindset of using as much banks as we could and getting pucks deep. I think, the simple play was definitely the right play tonight. At times, you don't want to get too flashy, especially when the puck's bouncing out there. So I think that was big for us tonight, was just using our indirect chips and stuff and getting letting our forwards get into the offensive zone. And that's kind of where we got our bread and butter tonight. So.
Okay, Josh Vina.
Josh Vina, College Hockey News. This is for any of the players. So Coach was talking about, your response to giving up the early lead, but I feel like after what you guys went through with the CCHA tournament, that it's kind of like, you've been through that adversity before. So like, I don't know, like what was it like for you guys? I mean, I feel like you've already probably gone through the most adversity you're going to face.
Benton, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'll ever see something like that again in college hockey. So, I mean, that's definitely an event that, can prepare you for just about anything, whether that be in hockey or life, I guess. It was, we were pretty calm in the locker room, especially after the first period. We got a lot of vocal guys like Furry, Wyatt, Jack. They were talking us up, and, I mean, the locker room presence was a pretty calm one after the first. We'd been in that position before, and we were pretty confident going into the second that we could generate a lot more shots and, beat this goalie. So we were pretty confident for sure.
Okay, the back there.
Kevin Dudley with the Mankato Free Press. This is for both Dryden and Mike. The third and fourth lines were fantastic all night. Maybe just talk about the impact they made on the game tonight and also throughout the tournament.
Dryden?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think the third and fourth line is what's made us special so far in the postseason. They've created that depth that makes us so balanced and so hard to match up with for other teams. And you look at a guy like Will Hillman who's played probably less than 10 games this year, and he stepped right in, and I thought he was one of our best players. And it was just it seems like anybody that we seem to put in the lineup is ready to go, and we have to have that if you want to win championships.
Hasty, we'll come back to you on that if you don't mind. We'll just take a couple more for the players, and then he'll come back to that one. Thank you.
Joe Poirilis from the College Hockey News. Benton, can you sort of walk us through what you're seeing on the ice on your goal and how the mindset after finally getting that breakthrough?
Yeah, I mean, Lucas Sauter made a pretty good play to get the puck down low to me. and kind of did a little shoulder check and saw that I had more time and space than I thought, and was able to kind of just get to the side of the net. And coach and is a big preacher on if we get there, it's got to go to the net. So I kind of just threw it on net and hoped for a rebound because I knew we had guys in front, and fortunately it was able to go on the far side.
Jess?
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. For Benton or for Reggie, McLaughlin and Perbix are a couple other Elk River guys out there. Do you guys know, have you grown up with those guys and, any kind of bragging rights from this one? And Benton, did you get to go to McDonald's too if you had wraparounds? I mean, because you got one.
I didn't score too much back then. But yeah, actually, I grew up playing with both of them. I'm best friends with Jack and his older brother Nick, so I've been around the rink a lot with them, and obviously Blake too in our youth, and then he moved away unfortunately. But yeah, both great kids on and off the ice, so it was definitely fun to be able to go out there and compete against those guys.
Reggie?
Yeah, it's kind of echoing what Ben said. They're obviously great human beings. I think Ben's a little bit closer than I am with them, but they're just great people, and hopefully, I hope for the best for those two.
Okay, we're going to take one more for the players. Paul, Allen, could you please tell people who will be out in the hallway?
We're going to bring Andre Pavel, Nate Smith, and Wyatt Ahmed out in the hallway here.
Okay, so you guys know that. Thank you. Last one for the players, and then we'll let them go. Okay, Chris?
Chris Long, KSTP TV. Dryden, you get so laser focused on the task at hand. You guys are thinking nothing but Gophers. Have you, in the last 20 minutes, stopped and thought about what's going to happen Saturday night and the opportunity you guys have earned for yourselves?
Yes and no. I think, it's crossed my mind, but at this point right now, I'm just ready to get back to the hotel and kind of enjoy this one and see my family and stuff like that, and then wake up tomorrow and get focused on that Saturday night game.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Congratulations. We'll let you go. We'll see you tomorrow. And Hasty, can you go back to the third and fourth line question to we start, and then we'll just get into your questions.
Yeah, I'll echo a little bit of what Dryden had said on, Andres Pavel and David Cillier have been impactful players for us over the last month. Andres has been probably one of our most impactful forwards, whether you're talking 5-on-5, killing penalties. Those guys allow us to play with depth, and when you can play with depth, you can spread out your minutes, and that keeps both sides of that, your top six, your bottom six, fresh, and it allows them to hopefully play the game the right way. So those guys have been really impactful players for us, whether it's taking face-offs, killing penalties, or as you saw tonight, chipping in offensively.
Okay, down here front.
Sean Davidge with SB Nation. Coach, you mentioned how much you liked the first period despite being down by a goal. What was your message to the players in the locker room?
Just that, I just said, hey, you know what, we've got to stick with it. I thought we had done a pretty good job at, possessing the puck and defending. We made a mistake, and that happens. I thought the guys just flushed it and moved on. And so, I'm fortunate to have a group of leaders in that locker room that do a lot of the coaching. They manage themselves. So they've made it easy on myself.
Wish.
Hey there, Greg Wyshynski, ESPN. Hi, way in the back. Just was wondering your initial thoughts about the matchup with Denver.
They're good. Everybody saw it. Tonight, I've seen it multiple times just because where I'm from and them being in the NCHC, I get to witness some of their games during the season. They're deep, they're talented, very good goaltending. I think they're about as thorough as a coaching staff as there is in college hockey right now. And so to me, it's going to be a difficult task, but as Dryden said, you know what, we'll get to that when the sun comes up tomorrow. We're going to try and enjoy this one a little bit.
It's actually tomorrow right now, Hasty.
I just saw that.
Here.
Anthony Travaglia with College Hockey News. After they got that first goal there, it seemed like your defensemen were more engaged, more active. Benton gets down low, he gets that goal. Was that kind of by design, or is that just something that they saw going in the flow of the game and just took upon themselves to be more active?
I think our game, as well as really, whether you want to talk Denver, you talk other programs that are having success this year, you need all 5 guys playing offense. You need all 5 guys playing defense. And so hopefully our players feel confident enough that if somebody gets down below the goal line and they happen to be a defenseman, that one of our high forwards is going to be able to cover for them. And we don't want them to be uncomfortable in that spot. And again, I just thought it's something that we work on a lot, as I'm sure a lot of teams do, and it benefited us tonight.
Okay, we'll take just a couple more here. In the back.
Nathan Strauss, Extra Points. The last time you guys played Denver, I think it was only your 10th game at the helm of Minnesota State. In that season, when you look back at that inaugural year, did you believe that there was going to be a time in the indeterminate future that you would be maybe playing on a stage like you'll be playing on Saturday night?
No. To be honest, no. George did a pretty good job of making me think we weren't going to win a game, let alone get to this stage. So, you know, it's and going all the way back to that beginning. It seems like forever ago. So, you know, you learn from the hard things. That was a hard weekend. I remember it vividly. I thought we played well that weekend, and we didn't get a point. And so, you know, we'll see. We'll take a kick at the can on Saturday.
Randy.
Randy Johnson, Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Mike, has it set in yet that what this might mean? Not just means your team, but the city of Mankato too.
Well, just to look across the rink and see the contingent that traveled across the country to come and support us, walking out on that red carpet, you know, after the players had gone through, and seeing the passion from those people that have really been there for us for quite some time now. They've made our building a difficult place to go and play, and they've been with us, you know, this entire season. Coming out of COVID, you never know what you're going to get. And we've got a lot of very passionate people that have supported us for a while, and it was great to be able to pay them back a little bit tonight for them committing to spending the money and coming out and supporting us.